one of the things that you mentioned there was that fear of death. Is that how is that fear inside of you or inside of people, or what what is it really, do you think?
Um, I think it's something about the fear of fear of leaving this world, fear of leaving, this. Um, I don't know. Maybe it's just going into something that we do not control. We don't know what's on the other side. We don't know what is death really. I mean, nobody has been able to come back and tell us about it. That's really been there. And the people who do come back and tell us about it, that has been really, really close, they actually don't tell us bad things. They just tell us about some light and some positivity, some good emotions. But still, I think it's that fear of letting go of this world and not we're not done yet. We're not finished. We want to live. We want to continue this life, continue these experiences, continue, this togetherness. I don't know. Maybe it's the fear of missing out on that part.
There is that, but it's uh, there's an interesting thought that could sound like I'd be advocating suicide, and I'm really, really, really not. But there was an interesting perspective I heard not so long ago, which was what if actually it's the start as opposed to the end? Um, and and I was like, whoa! I put my pen down. I had to stop. I had to stop and think for 10 minutes. What about if it's the start, not the end? So if it's the start of something, then really it's an opportunity, not a fear. I was like, whoa, that's scrambled my brain a bit in a new way.
But if you're saying it's the start, then you're actually meaning the being close to something, being close to dying, but being able to come back, right? Or am I understanding it wrong?
So the person who was speaking was talking more about the what if the start of the journey in life is actually the end of this bit of life?
Hmm.
And they
Yeah.
weren't saying it was or it wasn't. It was just a question to go and mash your brain up with and see what comes out of the other side. But in terms of a perspective change, I was like, well, you know, Hindus, for instance, if you were Hindu, you would believe in 15 lives, and
Yeah.
you would believe that you're going to come back next time as a thing. Um, uh, and that actually that's to be celebrated, that you're coming back as a new better version of you, as opposed to everything just ending finally with nothing left. That's it, done. Um, and Yeah, it was just an interesting perspective, I suppose.
It is an interesting because it's all about what we believe. But what I'd like to think is that what if you're wrong? At least I would make sure that I would maximize this life, you know, as much as I can
Hmm.
in case you're because I wouldn't want to go into this thinking that what if that is the start of something even better? And what if you were wrong and I had, tossed away the opportunity that I have in this life in order to come into, let's say, the next level, and there wasn't any. So
Yeah.
I would like to think that getting close to it, like I did, getting close to death, getting the perspective that you might actually die or you may die doing the activity that you're doing right now, and you're fighting with every inch of your body to not die, to survive. That perspective actually opens up a whole new world because it's kind of like you've tasted death in a way, but you weren't ready.
Hmm.
And it's almost like, if you've ever had a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and you at some point you realized you took him or her for granted. They were great boyfriends or girlfriends, great relationship, but you just kind of took it for granted. You didn't appreciate it the way that you should have. And then the moment they're gone because he or she left you, you're like, "Oh no, what did I do? How come I didn't take it for granted? It was so good." And that's kind of how I felt about life, felt about all the activities that I did, everything that I had in life. You somehow didn't appreciate it the way that you should. And now almost, it was going to go away for you. It was going to be taken away from me. And then when I got it back because I survived, that's when I realized I'm never going to take this life for granted anymore. I'm never going to think that, hey, I want to stop every day. I want to be grateful for what I have. I want to be grateful for the little things. And I don't mean for being alive because that is such a big thing. And yes, we do somehow take that for granted after a while, but it's about those little things that I fill my life with, that I fill my everyday with, that I want to be able to, yeah, be grateful for because they are the ones that create the moments and the memories that I take with me for the rest of my life.